Split frequency technique or frequency split technique. If you are familiar with the terminology, you might have heard of it when working with audio files, high and low frequency. Well, the same thing applies for images. We can divide our image into different levels of detail or different frequencies of detail. So in most cases, we will be dividing our image into low frequency detail and layer, or high level of detail or high frequency. Now in this video I just wanted to give you a basic overview of what it is, and so that you understand better before we go into Photoshop and dig deep into what exactly do we need to do in order to split our image. Well, if we take a look at this image, we see that on the left side we have our low level detail or low frequency layer, and then on the right side we have our high frequency layer, and if we combine those two we get the original image, which contains all the information. The same thing goes the other way around. We can take our image and we can divide it into at least two frequencies, low and high. Well, low frequency layer, what it is? Well, for that layer contains the shadow highlight information and as well as the color information. By shadow highlights information, I mean it contains the depth, what gives you a perception of depth within an image. And it's pretty much the same thing as if you were to take your image and blur it. In fact, it's exactly the same. While the high frequency layer, that one contains some small amount of color, but mostly it contains small sharp details. And by that I mean it contains stray hairs, for instance, or skin pores and things like that. And if we, like I already mentioned, if we combine the low frequency layer and the high frequency layer, we get our original layer or original image, which contains all the information. And the same thing goes the other way around. Now, in order for us to split an image into two frequencies, we are going to be using something that's called the apply image command. Now, the thing you need to know about this command is that the settings for it are different when working with 8-bit image as opposed to 16-bit image. And on this slide, on this image, you can see what settings needs to be applied in order for us to properly split our image. Now, I will provide you with this particular slide, this particular image, in the work files, so you can always look at it, open it up, and see what settings you need to apply if you're doing your own split frequency. Because I'm going to be working on 8-bit channel image and you might work on a 16-bit, for instance.